Hello everyone and welcome back to AustinPlus Commentary, where today we are finally doing a review on Peacemaker Season 2. I apologise for how late this is, but I didn't expect me to get round to this so late. I've had so many things going on. Halloween content, went on holiday or went away for a bit, and then obviously other aspects. But I didn't know how late I was going to get to this, so I do sincerely apologise. But without further ado, it is just here, so let's not stall, let's just get into it. I do agree with the fact that Peacemaker and Amelia had such a better character development in this show. And so did everyone else in his group. I would also argue that Vigilante had a lot more style to him, especially when we saw his doppelganger self later on in the show. Langston was a new character, which I really liked because of his comedy, and he brought such a lovely vibe to the show. And Economos being the blunt and sarcastic figure of the whole show. Both of them together had two of the greatest interactions, pure comedy as well, which I am all here for at the end of the day. I like Frank Grillo's character as he has the story. He is the story because he is also exactly the same in the Creature Commando show. If you haven't watched that, I would recommend go and watch it, but this is a direct continuation from that as well. This is perfectly canon, but he's the same character type as well, and he does not take away from that, which is always good as well. I would only say those are the best characters because you cover the whole gang themselves. They are always funny, but they haven't changed that much from last season. It's pretty much the same gig. But Langston and Grillo's characters, I said, were perfectly new, good characters, and I do think they should be carried on in later on in the future of this franchise. Now, in terms of the best moments, I love the contrast between Peacemaker's emotions from his real world, as it is stated that he does suffer from depression, and when he goes to Earth X, he is very happy, and it's very different. And then obviously the ball drops and then realize, oh yeah, this place isn't that great. I think that depression aspect really hung on for a long time, and I do think that really added to his character development, and like he behind the whole peace and justice type thing, he is a real human being that suffers with mental illness. Like, moving forward with that, when he goes to Earth X, he meets his brother Keith. Now, if anyone recalls Peacemaker Season 1, Keith was actually killed by Peacemaker because his dad forced him to in a little ring bet where the brothers fought, and he never got to really grow up with his little brother, or his older brother, I'm not that sure. But Keith was actually alive in this Earth X reality, and when they actually met each other, or sort of, it was really heartwarming because all of that weight from his dad, from his brother, from his guilt, all of that was weighing on top of him, and this moment was like a release for him. He was very calm and collected, and I do think that is a very soft aspect from him. But the opening sequence this season was amazing. I love the song as well. It is just pure class, and I did try and replicate the dance a few times. If you want to see that on TikTok, let me know and I might do it. I just might. Lex Luthor's reveal was a bit overly hyped. I didn't think he was going to be the character that they were going to introduce. But when they had Luthor's reveal, and then they said, oh, I'm actually just going to get one of my buddies to do it, that was a bit of a downfall for me. I would rather see Lex get involved rather than just like, I'm a cool bum mate. Now we're on to the sad part of this whole series, because it was amazing. The unfortunate truth is that it has been confirmed that there will not be a third season of Peacemaker. I'm now very sad. But it is not the last we're going to see of Peacemaker, which is the overall good thing. Think of it this way. Peacemaker has made a really good mark on the DCEU and is a perfect starting point. Yes, you had Superman. I know I wasn't a fan of it, but the links are really there. It does now have all the momentum it needs to compete with the MCU, especially with the state that the MCU is now. It is perfect. Fair, it was only taken 2 fucking decades later. My overall, thoughts on the show. While James Gunn does present a sequel that is a soft reboot, to be said, it smoothly brings characters into the DC universe, or is his interpretation of the universe after the film Superman. Now, some viewers did find this season to be more focused on the character and his emotions for the first one. Now, I think that's a good thing because they are focusing rather than on the action, but the emotional character depth as well. But critics, like me, observe this, and it keeps a good blend and balance of intense action, dark humor, and a heart that made original popular. John Cena also, he just gives an amazing, strong performance, looking deeper into Chris Smith's trauma in an alternate dimension. So he's looking inwards into his mind, where he is a beloved hero. So it's such a good contrast. That's why I love this show, and that's kind of why I really like the idea of Earth X. Not the idea, but I like the story, not Earth X itself. I also like how this dimension also leads to a provoking conflict. Overall, it is a solid show. Yes, it has flaws, but it is a solid show, and it is a solid depth into the DCEU. I will say this show has brought many things full circle, like the characters, how they can open good avenues for stories for different characters as well, and the things that they did with Earth X and showing different types of planets and dimensions. They were testing the waters with this idea for a long time, and they finally did it well. Not like that Flash shite, that was abysmal. They could have introduced an evil Superman, but that might have been out of our depth. I completely get that. I was hoping for that, but hey, you know what. But that is the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and let me know what you thought of Peacemaker Season 2 if you watched it as well. But without further ado, everyone, I hope you have an amazing day as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. Yeah.